Hey and welcome to our tutorial. Today I will show you how to create this Fortnite mouse cursor inside Microsoft Word, as you can see here. And this is just an image, but we will not stop in Word. We will actually take this extra step and convert this image into the actual mouse cursor, which you can use on websites or inside Microsoft Windows. So here you can see a standard text cursor. There are many different cursors inside Word, but if I move on the right side where usually the arrow cursor is being displayed, you can see I have this nice looking Fortnite cursor, which is of course actually working. You can click on anything, you can do whatever you want. So let me quickly change this cursor back to the default arrow and we can start creating something. Okay, so I've resetted the cursor back to the arrow and I will jump to the blank document where I have this Fortnite logo already pasted. I've just searched for the Fortnite icon and just copy one of those, and let's try to just draw it inside Word. So I will zoom in as much as I can and I will select, if I can select, I will select insert shapes, new freeform shape. I will try to trace the F letter, and I need to trace it around, in the middle of the line, just because when you add the line it will be drawn to both sides. So I'll try to somehow trace it like this. And the bad thing is you cannot actually see what I'm drawing because it's a blue color over the violet background. So what I can do, I can either make this image just a little bit faded. That's probably what I will do. I will just open the format ribbon, and for this image I will set the color to be faded just so I can see what I'm drawing, and then I will draw it again. Insert shapes, freeform shape, and I will draw it like this so you can see at least a little bit. And we don't have to care too much about the details or the exact position, because in the end the cursor will be sized 32 by 32 pixels, so it will be really small. I will right click, select format shape, and for the fill I will set the white fill and the line should be a violet one. I already have this color in here, but in case you don't have it, it's the RGB values of 620121, and I will raise this to, I don't know, like 6 points or so, and then I will trace this background. So for this background I will again use a freeform shape tool, and I will just trace the outline like this, and set the fill to violet, no outline, and just move it back, send to back. Of course the logo should be even more to the back, or I can just show the selection pane and hide the logo because I don't need this original picture to be displayed anymore. So as you have seen in the previous document, we need to somehow incorporate the arrow in here, and to not make this icon any bit bigger, I've decided that I will cut this corner, and instead of this corner I will insert this kind of like an arrow, like a very small pointing arrow. So I will right click and select edit points, and I will probably move this to the right like this and draw a new triangle, but I can of course use the freeform shape as well, which will kind of resemble the cursor, so the pointing cursor, and I will right click, select edit point, and make sure that it's like kind of like in the shape of the usual arrow. And what I will also try to do is not to go outside of the boundaries of the, if you can imagine like the square in here, I will try to not go too much outside of the boundaries, just so we can nicely fit everything into 32 by 32 pixels, and at the same time make sure that it's readable. Okay, I think I kind of like this shape. I think that for the previous cursor I've actually used the gradient fill, and I've used the gradient fill going from the violet color to the white. Then I've clicked somewhere in the middle to sample the very light version of the violet color. I've removed the original one and moved the one on the left to the very left side like this. Maybe I can use even a lighter version of this color. Okay, so once we have everything in place like this, maybe I'll move it a little bit far away from the logo. I will select all three shapes. I will just maybe move it to the right side, copy it into the clipboard. Now I want to paste a special, so I will select paste special, and here I will select paste as a PNG image, which is important. Then I will right click on this image, select save as picture, and I will save this as, of course, cursor Fortnite. And that's probably all that's needed inside Microsoft Word. Then I will jump to this website called cursor editor, which is on the address cursor.cc. I will put the link in the description, and here I will select import an image. I will open the image, which is the cursor Fortnite PNG, and upload this image. And what it will do, it will automatically resize the picture to fit the 32 by 32 pixels. And as you can see, it's, you know, there are some extra space on top and bottom, which means that, you know, the picture was probably too wide. It wasn't like a square, it was a little bit wider. So what I may try to do is inside Word, I may try to make it just a little bit less wider, so there are no extra pixels on top and bottom, like maybe like this. Let's see if that helps if I make it like this. Okay, maybe I can. You know, there are a lot of possible tweaks to this one. I just want to make it as fast as possible, so I will try to minimize the number of tweaks, but of course you have as much time as you want, so you can of course do anything you want. So I will again copy and paste this as an image, paste this as a PNG image, right click, select the save as picture. I will just override this file, and for this website I will again use import image and import this image again. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we get rid of those extra pixels on top and bottom. It's filling the space much better. Here on the bottom you can see how the cursor actually looks like. So the only missing part is to define the hotspot. The hotspot is the only thing which makes it different, like the usual image, from the cursor image. For the cursor you need to know where from this image you want to click, so you have to define this hotspot. By default it's in the top left corner. This is this plus icon. You can click in here and move it to any other spot. It kind of makes sense to have it in this arrow in here, so it's just, you know, 1 pixel away, but for different cursors you may want to move it to the different spots. And I'm thinking I'm very happy with the result. So what I can do is I can just click download cursor, and I will just, you know, just download it, and that's it. It's being downloaded somewhere in my downloads, I think so. Okay, so it's here in downloads cursor.cur. So I'll just paste this in my pictures. I already have this one, so I'll just replace it. And in the mouse settings I will just browse for different cursors. So I will open this cursor, select apply, and voila, I have a nice looking, cool looking Fortnite cursor done in Microsoft Word in almost no time. You can see I can click anything, the hotspot is working as expected. If I want I can disable the shadow, but I think that's fine for this one. So that's it. That's how you create a cursor inside Microsoft Word, and how you actually export this as a cursor which you can use for websites and, you know, in Windows. That's it. Thanks for watching.